Roses hide a body. The shop was crowded. Arrangements waited for delivery. Nell tied ribbons. Ivy checked orders. Stan stacked buckets. Felix Hartley entered. Confident voice. Quick steps. He demanded roses. Only the best. Ivy nodded. She opened the cold room. Inside stood buckets of blooms. Felix stepped in. The door swung half-closed. Nell glanced at him. She returned to her table. Her hands trembled slightly. Stan carried bundles outside. He avoided Hartley's eyes. Lady Bantry arrived. Miss Marple walked with her. They ordered small bouquets. Conversation filled the counter. The cold room door stayed shut. Minutes passed. Then, nearly an hour. Stan returned from deliveries. He reached for the cold room. The handle would not move. Stan frowned. He pulled again. It did not open. He called for Ivy. Her face turned pale. "That's impossible," she said. She hurried to the door. She knocked on the glass. "Mr. Hartley, are you inside?" Silence answered her. Marple looked up. Her eyes narrowed. She watched carefully. Stan fetched the spare key. He unlocked the door. The door creaked open. Cold air spread. Buckets lined the walls. In the center lay Felix, his body still. Rose petals covered him, red against his dark coat. Nell gasped loudly. Ursula's roses scattered on the floor. Silence filled the shop. Dr. Haydock was called. He bent to check pulse. He shook his head. Too late. He's gone. Ivy stepped back, trembling. Inspector Slack arrived. He demanded details. He studied the body. He studied the door. He studied the latch. Marple moved closer. She did not speak. Her hand rested on the frame. Her eyes lingered on the latch. Something was not right. The others argued. Heart attack. Shock. Accident. Natural death. Marple stayed silent. She looked once more. The latch seemed off. It sat at a strange angle. Shock. Her face grew thoughtful. Nell wept quietly. Stan tried to comfort her. Ivy held her chest. Ursula demanded answers. Slack wrote in his notebook. Marple whispered softly. Accidents are rare. This door tells another story. No one replied. The room grew tense. She folded her hands. Her eyes lowered, her voice calm. Someone meant this to happen. Heart attack, or something else. Dr. Haydock entered. His bag swung by his side. He bent over Felix. He checked the pulse. He looked at the eyes. Nothing more to do, he said. Heart failure. Quick. Sudden. His tone was firm. The shop grew quiet. Everyone listened. Ursula stepped forward, her gloves still on, her face pale but sharp. She shook her head. Number. He was fine this morning. Her voice cut through. Felix walked with me. He had breakfast. He laughed. He was strong. Haydock adjusted his glasses. He spoke calmly. Even strong men collapse. The heart can betray. This looks natural. Ivy stared at the floor. Nell clutched her apron. Stan stood stiff. Lady Bantry folded her arms. Marple tilted her head. Inspector Slack arrived, his coat unbuttoned, his voice loud. Stand back, everyone. He opened his notebook. He wrote names. He asked questions. What time did he enter? Who opened the door? Who touched the latch? Ivy answered softly. He went in alone. Nearly an hour passed. We were busy. No one disturbed him. Slack scribbled fast. Heart attack fits, he muttered. He looked at Haydock. The doctor nodded. Yes, a likely case. Ursula snapped again. You are wrong. Felix had no weakness. He had no illness. I will not accept this. Her voice trembled. She turned to Marple. You saw him earlier. Was he weak? Was he ill? Marple paused, her eyes steady, her words slow. No cough, no strain. He moved with strength. Slack frowned. He tapped his pen. He pointed at Ursula. Still, natural death is common. Panic changes nothing. Stan shuffled, nervously. Nell whispered to him, their words lost, their faces pale. Fear hung heavy. Marple bent lower. Her gaze swept the floor. She saw scattered petals. She saw broken stems. She saw a card. It lay half-hidden. Ivory surface creased. Words marked in ink. To you. With love. Edges bent unnaturally. Her fingers hovered. She did not touch. She only stared. Her lips pressed tight. Her breath shallow. Slack barked orders. Clear the space. Keep calm. We'll arrange transport. We'll file reports. But Marple stayed silent. Her eyes locked. Her mind racing. The card held weight. It did not belong. She straightened slowly. Her hands folded. Her voice low. A card tells more. A card never lies. A message within a message. Marple crouched. Her eyes fixed. The card lay bent. Ink letters neat. Words read. With love. She lifted it slowly. She held it to light. A shadow appeared. Faint pencil marks. Numbers. Letters. Codes. Slack peered over. What's that then? He leaned closer. Marple stayed calm. Not just a message. She tapped the surface. Stock codes underneath. Someone wrote first, then covered with ink. 2 writings, not 1. Ivy gasped. Her voice firm. That cannot be. We never reuse cards. Always new. Always clean. She stepped nearer. She touched the edge. Her hand shook. This is not ours. I swear it. Nell whispered softly. Aunt Ivy keeps them. She counts each week. She locks the tin. We never reuse. Stan looked confused. But why cover it? Why write over codes? Plenty of cards ready. Makes no sense. Ursula folded arms, her tone sharp. This is nonsense. I ordered roses only, nothing more. Her eyes narrowed. She looked at Ivy. You made mistake. Your shop careless. Admit it. Ivy flushed red. She raised her chin. No mistake here. Someone placed this card. Not from me. Slack scratched his chin. He examined the card, crease, bent in middle, pressed hard, almost deliberate. Marple nodded, her gaze steady. Too neat, too sharp, not accident. Lady Bantry leaned close. What does it mean, Jane? Marple's eyes narrowed. Someone wanted concealment, a message inside. The group grew silent. Only breath heard. Only pen scratching. Slack wrote notes. Ursula fumed quietly. Dr. Haydock joined. He held his glasses. He studied marks. Yes. Older underneath. Ink later. Nell clutched her hands. Stan avoided Ursula's eyes. Tension thick. Suspicion rising. The card heavy. Marple slipped it aside, her voice calm. This card was used, not by chance, by purpose. Her words sank. Eyes turned again, everyone uneasy. Ivy pale, Ursula rigid. Slack pressed forward. So deliberate then. Why bend it? Marple glanced down, bent to guide, to serve another use. Her tone sharpened. Someone planned this. Covered marks. Hid truth. Disguised intent. Nell trembled slightly. Stan touched her arm. Ivy whispered low. We never reuse. Her eyes watered. Marple folded card. She set it down. She looked at each. Her words firm. Concealment, never innocent. Bronze edges. Marple bent low. Her fingers brushed petals. One bloom looked wrong. Edges, faintly burned. Not natural aging. She lifted it higher. Light showed bronze tips. Her eyes narrowed. Her lips pressed. A memory stirred. Doctor, she called. Haydock stepped near. He adjusted his glasses. He examined carefully. He frowned. These marks unusual, he said. Not dryness, not age. Looks chemical, almost sulfur scorch. His tone grew serious. Ivy gasped quietly. Her pride shook. My roses are perfect, Storage flawless. I check daily. She reached for the bloom. Her hands trembled. No scorch here. Cold room exact. I never fail. Ursula's voice cut in. Sharp, dismissive, cold. Nonsense. Storage dries. Petals. Edges change color. Perfectly natural. Her tone carried authority. But her eyes flickered. She avoided Ivy's stare. She spoke too fast. Marple noticed. Nell whispered, frightened. I saw others. Some normal. Some scorched. Not all the same. Her voice shook. Stan leaned closer. He nodded. I smelled something. Like matches earlier. Didn't seem right. Slack scratched his pen. He wrote it down. Matches? Smell? Explain yourself. Stan stayed silent. Haydock studied again. This burn precise. Edges only. Very controlled. Suggests outside cause. Lady Bantry moved near. She frowned deeply. Jane, you're thinking something. Her friend stayed quiet. She kept looking. Marple compared two roses. One fresh, one burned. The difference clear. Her face serious. Her hands steady. Ivy tried again. Impossible. My system's flawless. Humidity balanced. Temperature correct. Air circulation steady. Her denial cracked. Her voice trembled. Her eyes darted. Her certainty gone. She felt accused. Ursula smirked faintly. She straightened her gloves. Her chin lifted. Excuses. Always excuses. Standards must slip. Nell turned quickly. That's not true. Aunt works hardest. No one else matches her. Never careless. The room fell silent. Only breathing heard. Only pen scratching. Slack kept writing. Everyone unsettled. Marple broke the pause. Her voice low. Her tone steady. Bronze edges tell truth. This is no accident. She placed the rose down. Her eyes lifted. She looked at each face. Her words sharper. Not accident. Exposure. Burnt smell lingers. Stan called out, his voice uneasy. Something strange back here. All turned. He pointed to the scullery. They followed. Shelves cluttered. Buckets stacked. Tools scattered. But one object drew eyes. A shallow saucer. Yellow dust inside. Stan whispered. Smelled. Odd. Like matches. He stepped back. Marple leaned forward. She did not touch. Her eyes sharp. Her head tilted. This powder matters. Dr. Haydock came closer. He bent low. He sniffed carefully. He rubbed a finger. His frown deepened. Burnt sulfur, he said. Residue clear. Not storage dust. Not harmless debris. This is chemical. Slack wrote quickly. His jaw set. Sulfur, then. In a flower shop. Why? Nell gasped. Her voice shook. Aunt Ivy never uses this. We keep sprays. Not this. Ivy's hands tightened, her eyes wide. She shook her head. Never candles. Not in my shop. Stan hesitated. There's more. He lifted a rubbish sack. Metal glinted inside. Slack pulled it out. A small tin. Label half torn. Words still visible. Sulfur candles. Greenhouse fumigation. The room fell silent. Haydock tapped the tin, his tone grave. These, when lit, release gas. Sulfur dioxide. Dangerous in closed rooms. He turned to Slack. Inhale enough. Lungs burn. Chest weakens. Heart strains. Collapse follows fast. Slack nodded grimly. He looked at Felix's body. So not simple heart. Gas forced it. Deliberate or careless. Ursula's face hardened. Her voice rose. Careless, surely. Rubbish left behind. Nothing more. But Marple watched her. She said nothing. She studied the dust. She studied the tin. Her silence heavy. Lady Bantry spoke low. She looked at Marple. She looked at Felix. Jane, remember. His lungs were never strong. Her voice wavered. She recalled whispers. War injury. Breathing weak. always guarded. The group fell still, every face tense, every thought dark. Accident less certain, murder more likely. Green strip in the dust. Inspector Slack stepped outside, the alley narrow, his eyes sharp. He bent low. Something caught light. A strip of tape. Green, sticky, florist tape. Dust clung to edges. He lifted it. Fresh, he muttered. Still tacky. He called others. Look here, explain this. Stan leaned closer, his face pale. That's florist's tape, but not mine. Check my roll. He pulled it out, from his bicycle. Slack inspected carefully. Unwound a piece, edges clean. Not torn, Slack said. Unused, untouched, roll intact. So not yours. Stan nodded. Nell stepped forward, her voice steady. I used some earlier, on bouquets inside, cut with scissors. She pointed at her work. Neat bindings. Exact cuts, no tears. All precise. Slack held the strip. Its edge ragged, torn fast. Not cut, not neat. Marple studied quietly, her eyes thoughtful, her head tilted. She spoke low. Hasty use. Quick removal. Ivy wrung her hands, her voice thin. We keep rolls inside. Always counted. None missing. Ursula crossed arms. She scoffed coldly. Meaningless. Tape lies everywhere. Workers careless. Nothing unusual. But Slack disagreed, his tone firm. This strip fresh. Dropped today, not old. He crouched again. He traced dust. The tape pressed down, marks in cobbles. Recent weight. Stan whispered nervously. It's by the street. Someone hurried out, dropped it, rushing. Couldn't hide it. Nell bit her lip. She looked scared. Marple's gaze moved, from tape to door, from door to latch. She folded her hands, her voice quiet. Florist tape strong, flexible, grips well, holds under pressure. Slack stared at her. He frowned deep. What are you implying? Marple didn't answer. Not yet. Lady Bantry asked softly. Jane, do you suspect? Marple stayed still. Her eyes narrowed, her lips sealed. Slack turned the strip. He held it high. He spoke slow. Could this tape work the latch outside? The words froze air. Everyone silent, eyes wide. He looked at Marple. She did not deny. Her voice calm, her tone steady. Tools tell stories. Tape here speaks too. It was not wasted, cold as November. Slack studied the cold room. He walked inside. He touched the air. He shivered. Too cold for flowers. Haydock nodded. He pointed at the dial. Set far too low. This temperature, unnatural. Not safe. Stan frowned. I never touched it. It was normal. Always moderate. Not like this. Nell shook her head. I checked yesterday. The setting steady. The roses safe. Nothing wrong. Ivy raised her hands. My controls are strict. I keep balance. I never allow damage. This is sabotage. Slack bent closer. He rubbed the dial. His fingers darkened. A smear showed. He held it up. Silver polish, he muttered. He sniffed faintly. The smell sharp. His eyes narrowed. This doesn't belong. Marple stepped closer, her gaze fixed, her tone calm. Polish smears remain. They betray careless fingers. Haydock folded arms, his words grave. Too cold worsened fumes. Air circulation pushed harder. Gas spread quick. Lady Bantry gasped. So deliberate, Jane. Set low to kill? Marple did not answer. She only stared. Ursula walked forward. She brushed her sleeve, her chin lifted. She spoke fast, or simple accident, her tone sharp. Servants polish silver daily. Residue clings. Anyone could touch. Not proof of guilt. Slack glared. He held up his handkerchief. The smear shone faintly. Fresh, bright, not old. He looked around, his voice stern. Who polished today? Whose hands carried this? Silence filled the room. Nell whispered, None of us. We never polish. Not here. Not in the shop. Stan added softly. Residue fresh, Inspector. Not shop work. Not ours. His eyes shifted nervously. Marple's eyes moved, her gaze steady. She studied Ursula, her gloves pale, fingers faintly smeared. She spoke low. Polish stains speak loud. They cling unseen. They betray the hand. They reveal intent. Ursula stiffened. Her lips tightened. Her breath quickened. She looked away. Her silence grew heavy. Slack's pen scratched. He wrote slowly. Gloves show residue. Same as dial. Same as smear. All eyes turned. Ivy whispered low. Not accident. Hands touched dial. Hands meant harm. Marple folded her hands, her voice gentle. Cold as November, but chill made by man, not by nature. She looked at Ursula, her words quiet. Even polish leaves truth. Froze the room. Ursula's gloves glimmered faintly. The same residue, the same smear, the same suspicion. Hooked from the outside. Slack bent down. His boot nudged something, a length of wire. Thick, heavy, bent at one end. He lifted it. He held it high. Florist's wire, he said. Strong enough for shaping, but bent unnaturally. Stan frowned. Not mine. I use clean rolls. Never twist like that. Never for binding. Nell leaned closer. She shook her head. I cut only thin pieces. This is rough. This is forced. Ivy stepped forward. Her eyes widened. It looks like scrap. We toss broken bits. We never keep them. Slack rubbed the bend. Sharp angle, pointed edge. Too neat for scrap. It was shaped. Marple spoke calmly, her eyes thoughtful. Hooked deliberately. Made for reaching, not for flowers. Haydock asked, what purpose? Marple bent low. She pointed at the latch. Test it. Slack hesitated. He slid the hook under. He pulled carefully. The latch moved. The door opened. Gasps filled the room. The trick worked. From outside. No hand inside. No escape possible. Stan whispered. So Felix was trapped. Latch forced down. From outside. Deliberate act. Nell trembled. Her voice soft. Someone stood here, wire in hand, holding him inside. Lady Bantry crossed herself. Her face tense. Then no accident. He was sealed. He was left. Slack turned wire again. Something clung faintly. He pulled a thread. Thin. Pale. Soft linen fiber. He held it up. He showed. The group. Not random. Snagged when twisted. Fresh break. Nell covered her mouth. Her eyes wide. Ivy stepped back. Her apron tied. A tear along edge. Slack stared at her. He raised the thread. Matches exactly. Your apron linen. Your cloth snagged. Ivy stammered. Her voice shook. Number not mine. Aprons wear daily. Threads catch anywhere. Ursula's lips curved. She spoke sharply. Convenient excuse, but evidence clear. The wire speaks. Marple studied Ivy, her gaze steady, her tone low. Threads tell truth. Fabric remembers touch. Stan stepped forward. He spoke quickly. She wouldn't harm him. She wouldn't dare. You're wrong. Slack ignored him. His eyes narrowed, his voice cold. All signs point one way, toward her. Everyone silent. Eyes shifted slowly. The wire glinted. The fiber clung. All eyes turned toward Ivy. A past quarrel returns. Village talk spread fast. Whispers moved through corners. Felix had enemies, not hidden, not few. Mrs. Dodds at the post office spoke. She leaned forward. He pressed Ivy for months, wanted her shop, offered low price. Another voice joined. He told bankers. She would sell soon. He was certain. Forced her pride. Ivy's cheeks burned, her voice thin. He thought money ruled me. But I refused. I stood firm. Nell clutched her arm, her eyes filled. He frightened us, said contracts end, said ruin comes. Stan spoke next, his voice steady. He blocked my routes, stopped delivery contracts. said, I lacked standing. He paused, his fists tight. He warned suppliers, told them not to trust. He closed every door. Slack wrote notes, his face grim, so motive clear. He tried crushing both. You all resisted, Lady Bantry added. He quarrelled openly, at meetings, at dinners, even in church. She leaned back, her eyes heavy. Everyone heard words. He enjoyed power. He showed no mercy. Haydock sighed, his tone dry. Felix was proud. Pride draws enemies. Enemies wait long. Ursula snapped. Petty talk. He acted firm. Business needs steel, not weakness. Her face stern, her chin high. He did nothing wrong, only what leaders do. That was his way. Ivy's voice rose. He ruined dreams. He crushed chances. He called me stubborn. He laughed. Nell sobbed softly. He mocked Stan. He called him boy. He said failure certain. He enjoyed it. Stan's jaw clenched, his voice low. I wanted proof. I wanted chance. He gave none. Marple watched closely. She said nothing. Her eyes shifted, from Ivy to Stan. Slack tapped his pen. So, 2 motives. Shop stolen, contracts blocked, resentment everywhere. Silence followed. Each face tense, each heart burdened. The rivalry real, the hatred old. Lady Bantry whispered. Felix planted thorns. Now roses hide him. Her voice heavy, her gaze distant. Marple folded her hands, her voice calm. Too many rivals, too many wounds. One acted. Doctor's words mislead. Dr. Haydock cleared his throat, his voice steady. I repeat my finding. Natural heart failure, simple truth. Slack nodded slowly. He scribbled again. Official record stands. Doctor rules natural. Case near closed. Ivy shook her head, her lips tight. You refuse facts. You refuse signs. Something more happened. Nell whispered softly, her eyes wet. He was strong. He never coughed. Not once. Stan stepped closer. He laughed yesterday. He worked steady. No weakness shown. None at all. Haydock snapped. You doubt medicine? I saw body. I touched skin. I know death. Marple's gaze sharpened. She spoke calm. Doctor, bodies speak, but clues whisper. We must hear both. She turned to Slack, her tone quiet. Consider the roses. Edges bronze. Chemicals scorch. She pointed at the saucer. Yellow dust. Sulfur. Candle. Residue still fresh. Not natural. Slack frowned. He read notes. Yes, but fumes? Would they kill, or only damage? Marple answered slowly. Not alone, but paired with chill, air circulation strong, strain immense. Stan looked up. I heard motor hum, before Hartley entered. Unusual sound, too loud. Marple nodded, her finger lifted. That hum mattered. Fan pushed fumes, spread every corner. Haydock adjusted glasses, his voice stubborn. Coincidence. Machines fail. Not proof, Ursula added coldly. Exactly. Machines fail. Fumes linger. He was weak. End of matter. Marple tilted her head, her eyes steady. Yet tape outside. Wire bent. Latch forced. She paused, her voice firmer. Door sealed. No escape. Not accident. Slack leaned forward. He tapped notebook. So science fails? Doctor wrong? Truth elsewhere? Marple breathed slowly, her tone sharp. Science is tool. It records signs. It does not judge. She looked at Haydock, her eyes serious. Words can mislead, if guided wrongly, if spoken too soon. Silence spread, everyone tense, truth heavier now. Doctor shaken, inspector doubtful. Lady Bantry whispered low. Jane sees more than medicine, more than men, always more. Marple folded her hands, her voice quiet, her words final. Science can lie if guided. Purpose revealed. Marple placed the card flat. She smoothed its crease. The fold, sharp. Not casual, not careless. Slack leaned closer. He measured with eyes. The bent wire lay near. Angles matched. Perfect alignment. Remarkable, he muttered. Card fits wire, as if wrapped. He tapped the desk. His frown deepened. Ivy gasped. She clutched her apron. You mean disguised? Our florist card. Turned into trick? Marple nodded once, her voice calm. Not message alone. A sheath. A cover. Nell trembled, her words soft. It hid the hook. So no one noticed. Looked harmless. Stan stepped forward, his brow furrowed. I remember something. Before Felix entered. The motor noise. Slack turned quickly. What motor? Stan swallowed hard. The fan running, louder than normal. He glanced at Nell. She nodded. I heard too. It hummed sharp. Before he went inside. Haydock frowned. That matters. Means fumes spread earlier. Means air already thick. He walked into danger. Marple's eyes narrowed. Her tone steady. Yes, the trap waited. Not chance. Not sudden. Lady Bantry whispered. Someone set stage. Not while he stayed. Before he entered. Planned in silence. Ursula scoffed, her arms crossed. Or you imagine. Tools confuse. Noise deceives. Slack snapped back. Facts align. Card bent. Wire hidden. Fan primed. He slammed notebook shut. Proof grows. Motive strong. Means clear. Method clever. Ivy shook her head, her face pale. Why use our card? Why my shop? Why my trade? Nell clung to her. Tears welled. Because easy, Aunt. Because everyone trusts. Because flowers hide sin. Stan clenched fists, his jaw set. Felix never cautious. He thought untouchable. But someone waited. Marple folded the card. She slid it beside the wire. The match exact. Her lips pressed, her eyes grave, her voice low. Purpose revealed. This was disguise. A hook wrapped, a plan hidden. The room fell silent, each heart heavy, each face tense, the truth closer, the fear sharper. Marple lifted her gaze, her words deliberate. The trap was set before him. Alibis crack. Inspector Slack folded his arms. He looked at Ursula. Your turn. Where were you? Ursula's chin lifted, her tone sharp. I was at church, helping polish silver. Many saw me. She smoothed her gloves, her voice firm. I never touched that latch. I never touched those machines. This accusation offends me. Slack scratched. His pen. Church, you say? Names? Ursula blinked once. Servants. Parish women. Ask them. Lady Bantry frowned, her voice skeptical. Strange time for polishing. During service, not usual. Ursula glared back. I do not explain. I state facts. That is enough. Believe or not. Marple's eyes softened. She said nothing. She studied the gloves. Residue still there. She remembered the dial. Slack turned to Ivy. Her hands shook. You deny this? Wire, card, fiber, all point to you. Ivy's lips quivered, her voice weak. I never touched wire. I never touched latch. I only worked flowers. Her body trembled. Her niece stepped close. Nell held her arm. She tells truth. She feared Felix too. Stan nodded firmly. He pressured her. He wanted her shop. He gave no peace. She stood strong. Slack wrote quickly. Motive strong still. Stubborn pride. Refusal to sell. Plenty to kill for. Nell turned her head. She looked toward the door. Her face uneasy. Her lips moved. She whispered. Faint. Marple caught it. What did you hear? Nell hesitated. Her voice cracked. Heard him last week. Everyone leaned closer. She spoke louder. He boasted loud. Told Ursula's maid. Told the baker. Nell's hands clenched. Her voice rushed. Felix changed estate plans. He would cut ties. He would ruin us. Ivy gasped, her face pale. What do you mean? Nell's eyes watered. He planned new will. Stan stiffened, his fists tight. That's true. He cut you off. All of you? Nell nodded hard. He mocked us. He laughed. He said ruin. He promised nothing left. Lady Bantry sighed, her voice low. Estate talk breeds fire, more than contracts, more than shops. Slack's eyes narrowed, his tone cold. Alibis weak. Motive strong. Everyone tainted. Marple breathed slow, her words calm. When money shifts, faces change, hearts harden. Nell's voice broke, her cry sharp. He was going to ruin us all. Friend urges truth. Lady Bantry leaned close, her eyes fixed on Marple, her tone gentle. Jane, you see more. Tell us what you know. Marple stayed quiet, her fingers folded neatly, her gaze thoughtful. She shook her head. Not yet. Dolly pressed harder. You cannot wait. Tension grows. People suspect wrongly. You must guide us. Marple sighed softly, her words slow. The method stands clear. The motive remains tangled. I must separate both. Slack snapped his notebook. He stepped forward. Enough riddles. I have suspects. I will make arrests. He pointed at Ivy, then toward Ursula. Both with motives, both with means. Why delay? Marple raised her hand, her voice calm. To act now risks error. Truth requires patience. Evidence speaks slowly. Slack frowned deeply. He slammed his pen. Patience wastes time. Villagers grow restless. They demand action. Stan interrupted nervously. Inspector, please wait. Ivy is innocent. She never harmed him. She never would. Ursula cut in. Or blame me. Ridiculous. I polished silver. I was away. Her chin lifted, her tone sharp. You waste time. Felix is gone. Let it end. Nell shook her head, her voice trembling. He wanted all ruined. He changed his will. He mocked us. Slack growled. Every word adds guilt. Every motive strong. I will decide. I cannot sit idle. Lady Bantry touched Marple's arm, her voice softer. You hold answer. Do not hide. Say it plain. Marple's eyes lowered, her voice even. The latch proved tool. The fumes proved trap. The temperature proved plan. She paused briefly, her words heavier. But motive? It winds deep. It touches many. Haydock muttered low, so still uncertain. No single culprit. Only shadows. Only doubt. Marple looked around, her eyes serious, her voice quiet. Doubt leads to wrong. Truth must lead us. Slack raised his hand, his tone hard. Truth or not, I have duty. Arrests come now. He stepped forward, his eyes fierce. He reached for his coat. He snapped orders. Bring them in. Marple stood, her voice cut firm, her eyes sharp, her words final. Not yet. Step by step, the murder. All eyes turned to Marple. Her hands rested still, her voice calm. It happened like this. She pointed at the tin. First, a candle lit. Sulphur released fumes. Gas filled the air, invisible but deadly. She gestured to the dial. Next, the thermostat lowered. The cold deepened. The motor ran strong. The fan spread poison. She touched the bent wire. Then, the latch prepared. Wire shaped into hook. Wrapped in a florist card, so no one questioned. Slack leaned closer. His pen stopped. You mean, locked from outside? Marple nodded. Exactly that. Stan swallowed hard. He never stood a chance. Door shut. Latch pressed. He was trapped. Nell shivered, her voice weak, and he breathed it, minute by minute, until collapse came. Lady Bantry lowered her head, her tone heavy. A cruel design, every step arranged, nothing spared. Marple continued slowly. Card bent for cover, hook hidden inside, latch pressed downward, door sealed tight. She looked at Ivy. Your shop gave tools. Not by choice, by theft, by deceit. Ivy protested quickly. I never helped. I never knew. Someone twisted truth. Someone used my trade. Slack scratched his chin. Motive fits many. Ivy blocked deals. Stan lost contracts. Ursula faced estate changes. He glanced at Ursula. Her eyes flashed. She folded her arms, her lips pressed thin, her silence sharp. Haydock muttered. So planned carefully. Not sudden rage, prepared long, executed cold. Stan's jaw clenched, his voice bitter. He wanted control. He crushed everyone. Someone struck back. Nell whispered faint. He ruined hope. He mocked us. One of us broke. Marple folded her hands, her tone steady. Rival motives circled him. Each had reason. Each had cause. Slack paced slowly. Plenty of suspects. Plenty of anger. But who lit it? Who set flame? The room silent. Every face tense. Every heart heavy. Truth near. Proof missing. Marple's eyes narrowed. Her words deliberate. The method is plain. The plan exact. But the hand unseen. Ursula stepped forward, her voice sharp. You can't prove who lit it. Mask slips at last. Ursula's eyes blazed. She pointed at Ivy. Her voice cut sharp. She hated Felix. She wanted revenge. Ivy staggered back. Her hands shook. Her lips trembled. I never touched him. I never harmed him. She clutched her apron. Her breath shallow. Her knees weak. Her eyes wide. She nearly fell. Nell caught her. Her voice cried. Aunt speaks truth. She feared him, but she never killed. Ursula pressed on. She lied before. Threads on wire. Tools from her shop. All point to her. Stan shouted. That's false. Anyone could take wire. Anyone could steal tape. Not proof. Slack raised his hand. Order. One at a time. He looked at Marple. Is it Ivy? His tone heavy. Marple shook her head. Her gaze steady. Her voice calm. Evidence speaks differently. It names another. She lifted the card. She showed the crease. She held the wire. She tapped the latch. Each piece explained. Then her finger rose. She pointed at the dial. Smears of silver polish. Fresh. Bright. Not from old cloths. Her eyes fixed. On the gloves. Only one pair. Still stained. Still visible. The room froze. Eyes turned slowly. Toward Ursula. Her gloves gleamed faintly. Her breath quickened. Marple's words sharpened. Precise timing proves more. Fan humming before entry. Door sealed before step. A plan laid. Ready. She paused briefly. Her tone low. Only one with chance. Only one with time. Only one nearby. Ursula's voice cracked. She tried denial. Lies. Pure lies. Anyone could smear. Anyone could touch. Slack leaned forward, his voice hard. But you polished silver. You admitted so. You carried stains. Ursula's face twitched. Her hands clenched. Her shoulders stiff. Her mask slipped. Her tone faltered. Ivy sobbed loudly. Nell hid her face. Stan stood rigid. Lady Bantry sighed. Haydock muttered. Marple pressed on, her tone firm. Method clear. Motive tangled. But the hand shone. Ursula shook once. Her lips quivered. Her eyes fierce. Her voice broke. Yes, I did it. She gasped sharply. Her words cut. But you'll never prove why. Truth among roses. Ursula's face fell. Her voice cracked. Felix ruined me. He blocked inheritance. He left me nothing. Her hands trembled. Her eyes burned. He promised once. He changed later. He betrayed me. Slack stepped forward, his tone firm. You confess then. You trapped him. You sealed the door. She turned sharply, her lips tight, her voice low. Yes, I confess. He forced my hand. Ivy gasped aloud. Her body shook. Nell clung tighter. Stan glared in silence. Lady Bantry whispered sadly. Haydock sighed heavily. He closed his bag. All signs fit. The fumes, the chill. Slack motioned quickly. 2 constables entered. They gripped Ursula's arms. She resisted faintly. Her head bowed. The crowd hushed. Steps echoed. The constables led her. Door slammed. She was gone. Bantry shook her head, her tone weary. The ball ruined. Guests will scatter. Talk will spread. Nell sobbed quietly. Stan held her. Ivy sat down, her face blank, her spirit shaken. Slack muttered, "Justice moves slow, but it moves. The case stands. She will face trial." Marple remained still, her hands folded, her eyes lowered, her voice soft, truth among roses. Bantry leaned close, her tone gentle. "Jane, what do you mean?" Marple answered slowly. "Flowers hide beauty. Flowers hide cruelty. One sees what one looks for." The room fell quiet, each thought heavy, each heart unsettled. Village peace broken, trust undone. Marple's words lingered, her tone reflective. "Flowers may hide beauty, or murder." Silence stretched. Lady Bantry nodded faintly, her face sad, her voice hushed. "Always murder, Jane. Always near us." Evening closed in, shadows deepened, the village restless, rumors spreading, nothing settled. Then a sound, soft at the door, a slip beneath. A card pushed through. It slid across floor. Marple bent forward. She picked it up, her hand steady, her eyes narrowed. The card unsigned, words faint inside, ink blurred, nothing clear, only one thought. Another message waits. The room froze. Bantry gasped. Stan stepped back. Nell clutched Ivy. Slack stiffened. Marple whispered low, her tone grave. Another card, unsigned. The story not ended,